In today's video, it's going to be a bit controversial. A lot of people are probably going to disagree with me. I'm hoping a lot of people will also agree with me, but we're going to go through the current Arsenal squad that finished this season. There are a few players missing that are out on loan right now but are coming back, but in general, the first team squad that finished this season. We're going to be doing their ratings for FIFA 21. Right now, you can see their ratings currently in FIFA 20. It's not the ratings they started with. This is the latest up-to-date ratings. I think Ultimate Team is going to have different ratings as well, but if you were to start a career mode now or play head-to-head, these are the ratings you would see in FIFA 20. And I disagree with quite a few of them. Some of them are too high, some of them are way too low. So I'm going to fix them, and I'm going to pretend that we're looking at the FIFA 21 squad that will come out with the game in early October. We're just going to get straight into this and do the goalkeepers and then move all the way down. So Leno, before he got injured, was probably our best player. So I'm actually going to upgrade him to 86. I think that is more than fair, and some people would argue could probably go up to 87. Up next, we have Martinez. Now, 75 isn't terrible because, of course, he hasn't actually played too much for Arsenal since he's joined the club so many years ago, and this has been an incredible end to the season for him. A real shock. I don't think anyone knew how good this guy actually was. Now, with EA upgrades, it wouldn't surprise me if maybe he goes up by 3 or 4 ratings, but I don't think that's fair. However, though, I don't think he should be going up to anywhere near Leno's level, even though I'd argue they are quite comparable in terms of ability. But we've got to be realistic here, and I'm going to go ahead and give him, I think, an 80. I think an 80 is more than fair enough. He deserves it. However many games he's played since Leno's injury, I think it might be 8, 9 or 10 games, he has been absolutely unbelievable. So I'm going to go ahead and give him an 80. Up next, we have Matt Macy. Now, we haven't seen too much of Matt Macy, but because both our goalkeepers that have played have improved so much with the new goalkeeper coach over the last few years, I just feel like he will be a better player than he was at the start of this year. But again, you can't really do too much, so maybe a 68, something like that. I don't know. We can't really tell, can we? It's not something that we've been able to see. We haven't seen any progress with Matt Macy, but maybe a 68, something like that. Now, moving on into defence, Bellerin. Honestly, I don't think he deserves an upgrade per se. So I think 79 is probably where he should be. However, he is looking better and better every game, and I expect to see him maybe go up to an 80 or 81 throughout the season of FIFA 21. Up next, we've got Suarez, Cedric Suarez. 75 seems very low, but again, we haven't seen too much of him yet. Maybe a 77. I would say that's probably about fair. The game that he scored his debut in when he came on, unbelievable goal. And when he has played, he's looked quite solid. So maybe a 2 upgrade for him. Chambers is a tough one because of the injury. Looked really good before the injury. Can't really give him much more than maybe a 1 upgrade. So maybe a 77, something like that. Now, Mustafi. Really, really interesting one to talk about because he's a bit of a memed defender. Partly my fault as well, within my community at least. You know, we had the Mustafi fan club. We've got loads of emotes using Mustafi's face. And the thing is, he is legit very, very good under Arteta. I honestly believe he deserves an upgrade. And I'm going to go ahead and give him an 80. I don't see why not. He has been solid for us this season. And I would love to see more and more people realise that actually he's not as bad as he sometimes looks. However, he's still there. That's still him. He's still in that body. He can still make those mistakes. Now, Sokratis has been poor this season. I believe he started at 84 in FIFA 20. He's already down to 81. I think down to 79 is probably where it's going to be for FIFA 21. Not very good. Now, with David Luiz, I would put him higher than Sokratis. I'd put him level with Mustafi. Definitely deserves a downgrade. He's had some very bad appearances, but he's also been very solid in some games as well. When we beat Man City in the FA Cup, he was remarkable. But then when we lost to City in the return of the Premier League, yeah, the less said, the better about that one. Holding, geez, a real tough one because again, inconsistent, injuries, can have an absolutely stunning game and then can very easily have a bad game. I think, to be fair, a 77 or a 78 would be fair. And I think, do you know what? I'm going to give him a 78. He's played more than Chambers, and I would argue has had some really good performances recently. Up next, we've got Pablo Mari. I mean, I think he looked good. I think he did look good, but how can you upgrade a player that's barely played? I think maybe a 76 is fair, but I think I'm going to be a little bit kind to him here. Maybe a 77, because he did look pretty decent until he picked up his injury. This is an easy one. I'm going to go Tierney up to 80. I think Tierney deserves an 80 rating. He's better than Bellerin, but he's not like miles ahead. So you got to compare players in opposite positions. You know, left backs and right backs are quite comparable. For me, Tierney deserves to go up to an 80. And Kolasinac, I don't think I'd move him. I don't think he's been bad, but I don't think he's been good. I think a 77 is probably about right. I don't think we need to go down, that's for sure. Up next, we've got Maitland Niles. If we can find him a position to play in regularly, he will flourish. I think his best position is out wide. I really do. I know he sees himself as a midfielder, maybe through the middle as a box-to-box or an attacking midfielder. I think in the past he said he wants to play at right wing. But whenever he plays wing-back, because he's so physical, because he's got a great engine, I do actually think he's better defensively with that ability to go forward. A bit like Tierney, really. Definitely deserves an upgrade. I would also say maybe a 77 is fair for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Now, one of the breakthrough players from Hale End, we have Willock, and I don't know if he deserves a huge upgrade, maybe a 74. He has played quite a few times this season. He started at the very start of the season as well. He had a really good pre-season, and I was really happy with Willock this season. Very good progress. 74, I think, seems about right. Yeah, this is another tough one. I'm going to go ahead and leave Torreira on an 81. I don't think he showed any improvements this season, but he hasn't got any worse. I would say 81 is absolutely fair enough. Now, this is going to be the most controversial one. Don't even try and tell me that Xhaka hasn't been one of our best players towards the end of the season. I think he deserves an upgrade, maybe 81, but I'm going to give him an 82 because without him, we would have not won the FA Cup. We would have struggled a lot more. I really like Granit Xhaka. I know he had his meltdown before Christmas, and that was horrible to see, and very almost left the club in January, but thank God Arteta managed to convince him to stay because he is the anchor in this team. He's incredible. I just wish everyone wouldn't go on about his pace constantly and the fact that he is maybe too slow to be a lone midfielder and allow other midfielders to go forward in front of him. The thing is, because he's a smart player, he can do that position where he is on his own, and he has done that very well next to this man right here, Dani Ceballos. He is also going to go to 82 rated. He has been phenomenal over the last few weeks. Him and Xhaka, partnership of dreams. Guendouzi, oh dear. I can't give an upgrade, can't give a downgrade. I think 77 is probably fair. Not a good season for Guendouzi. Didn't really do much when he played. And obviously, we've had that huge, embarrassing moment from Guendouzi against Brighton. And he hasn't featured in an Arsenal squad since. Looks like he's on his way. Not even an Instagram post congratulating the team on the win in the FA Cup. Nothing. Just silence. So I'm not so sure I appreciate that from Guendouzi. Something has happened, and best of luck to him. It doesn't look like he's going to stay, which is a real shame. Up next, we have Pepe. Started at 84, came down to 82 throughout the season. I think 83 would be fair. FA Cup final display was incredible, his best game by far, and he does look like he's starting to really settle in, so I would expect to see more upgrades next season. Nelson, another player that had a bit of a breakthrough season, but nothing too crazy. I would argue maybe just a 1 upgrade to 74. I wouldn't say he's ahead of Willock, but I wouldn't say he's behind Willock. And you've got to give him an upgrade for playing more games this season. He's made it into the first team quite a few times. Now, this one sucks. Mezza Ozil. What do we do with Mezza? He hasn't played. I feel like when Mezza's played, though, he is nowhere near the level that he used to be. Is he better than Dani Ceballos, 82? Is he? maybe, if he was to play. He's going down. 82. Mezza Ozil down to an 82. You might disagree with me. I don't think he's better than Dani Ceballos. So if Ozil stays 83, then Ceballos should be 83. Xhaka should be 83. They're all very equal, in my opinion, in their own positions. Up next, we've got Martinelli. Oh my God. These next two players is going to be fun. Martinelli, that goal against Chelsea, the performances in the Europa League, absolutely fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and give him a 77. He is on par with Guendouzi's ability, for sure. He's on par with Maitland Niles and Chambers. I mean, Chambers maybe should stay a 76. I don't know. That's a bit of a tough one. But Martinelli up to 77 for me. And I'm going to do the exact same for Saka. I think maybe a 78. Difficult one. Let's do it. 78. Saka has been arguably our best young player this season. Up next, we've got Anketia. Again, another season where he's been able to improve a little bit. I don't think he's any better than Nelson or Willock. I think a 74 is probably about right for him. Lacazette, probably an 84 still. I don't think he has improved as a goal scorer. He's definitely improved as a team player, getting players involved in the play, and he has scored a few important goals, but realistically, he's not the striker that we thought we would get when we signed him, and it hasn't quite worked out, but he is still a vital part of the setup. It's a bit of an odd one. And it's the same with Aubameyang. I don't really think he deserves an upgrade, but he definitely does not deserve a downgrade. So we're going to go with 88. What this does, though, guys, what this does, it just shows how far we've fallen. Look at this team. I think, honestly, this is the worst Arsenal squad we've had in recent times, and we need to improve it because there's only a handful of players that are actually 80 rated or more, and that's unbelievable. Our defence is shocking, really, isn't it? Unbelievable. But hopefully you've enjoyed this video, something a little bit different. Let me know if you agree with my choices. Let me know if you disagree. Be constructive, don't be mean, be nice in the comments. I'm sure there's going to be arguments about who should be what, but honestly, it's just a bit of fun. This is the ratings I would give, and maybe I'll do some other teams. I don't know. Let me know if you're interested. Make sure you leave a like, make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you next time.